All right, guys. So there's a lot of myths and fallacies surrounding martial arts and the ability that you have to defend yourself after learning martial arts. Part of that's because there's so many different styles, so many different ways to practice, all of that. But part of it's just, been a little bit skewed and people get a little bit mixed up. So the way that you can really look at self-defense with martial arts is as a pie chart. So if we look at this pie chart here, you're going to be able to see that it's not one extreme or the other. Martial arts isn't going to be magical and have you be able to defend absolutely everything, and it's not going to be worthless and make it so you can't defend yourself at all. It's definitely going to help you in different areas, and this chart will kind of show us how. So if we look at striking first, if there's a situation where strikes would be useful, such as someone's like too close to you, they might be about to grab onto you, and you can throw a good strike, whether it's a strike to the leg to slow them down, or something to the face to stop them for a second, or even get a knockout shot, then obviously that's going to help you defend yourself. And by defend yourself, it means get to a safe place, get away from that person and get to a safer place. So it absolutely can help you there. If you have a situation where someone throws you on the ground, then you're gonna need grappling, which is where you put in jiu-jitsu, a little bit of wrestling. You're gonna need some grappling. They've thrown you on the ground and you didn't see it coming maybe, or you slipped, or you felt something, but you end up on the ground with this larger, stronger, person, and they're on top of you, they're hurting you. There are specific techniques that help you. Like if they're choking you, we know how to defend against that. If they're punching you, the best strategy, get your hands up. By training these things, whether it's striking or grappling, over and over and over again, it becomes second nature. You actually have those things come out when they're needed, and they can help you even save your life. So it absolutely can help you there. Now, when we look at it though, some people get it confused, because if you look at the next part, we've got size and strength, or your overall fitness, even your agility, athletic ability, but that, like, all those physical attributes, starting with just your size, can really help you. Obviously, someone who's nearly 7 feet tall and weighs 300 pounds can defend themselves without martial arts against most people, right? They're not gonna have a big problem with that. If you teach that person martial arts though, now they're even tougher. Right? So martial arts takes any individual, whether you start out very small, frail, or if you're gigantic, or if you're somewhere in the middle like most of us are, it just takes your ability to the next level, and it helps you defend yourself in more situations. So size and strength absolutely matters, but just because size and strength matters doesn't mean none of the skills that you learn matter. They certainly still matter. So if you look across though, there's another section of awareness, okay? And awareness is kind of the secret weapon, right? Like, awareness can come in two areas. So you can be aware not to put yourself in situations that are actually dangerous. And we usually know that. Sometimes we catch ourselves in one where we're like, I should not have come here. This is not as safe of a part of town as I expected it to be, whatever it is. And we know to avoid that. That's becoming aware. We know to avoid that kind of thing. So the second part of awareness though is how a person is actually acting and behaving. And if you're like within grabbing distance or striking distance, one of the first things we teach our beginners is safe distancing, and how to keep yourself safe and how to diffuse things verbally, that sort of thing. So awareness can really, really help when you learn that. But then there's always going to be a section that we call undefendable, just stuff you can't defend against. If someone whacked you in the back of the head with a 2x4 when you weren't looking, that would be something that you can't defend against. No matter how good you are at striking, you didn't see it coming and you're already unconscious. So unfortunately, it doesn't take you to superhero level, but it will allow you much, much better chances in any kind of self-defense situation if you've taken a lot of classes and you train. So let's talk about how much training it does take just for a second here. And the answer is it's a continuum. It's not like I trained for 3 days and now I can defend myself. Absolutely not. Maybe you learned a couple things that might be useful in a few situations because you know a couple strikes now, maybe one technique here, but if someone attacked you differently, obviously you need to know quite a few different techniques, and you need to practice them more than 5 or 10 times. We're talking hundreds or thousands of times. That's why, it takes 9 years to get a black belt at law martial arts, and we train every time you come to class. You increase your chances in each realm that you train in. So those sections of this pie chart get bigger, and there's more situations where striking would help you or where grappling would help you. And then the undefendable section is what shrinks away and gets smaller and kind of goes down to always being there, but less and less situations that are completely undefendable. Whereas before you start, especially if you're a small person, it's like almost the whole chart is undefendable. You don't know how to defend yourself against someone who grabs you or throws you on the ground or strikes you or chokes you or is threatening. You don't know any of it if you don't train a little bit. So we want to just always increase chances through martial arts, use realistic techniques that are going to increase your chances, and not tell people it's going to make you invincible, so you keep your awareness going and you don't get too big of a head and think that you can defend yourself against everything. And you're always working on your fitness and strength and things throughout the class. So all of it goes together to make it so that you're a much, much safer person when you train in martial arts.